Yeah, we might as well react to some comments as well. We had a lot of comments on our ranking one and sparked a lot of interest. But one of the comments was, "I'm not an Israel Premier Tech fan, but I think you're dead wrong about them. They raced brilliantly at the Giro. Not the same lineup. I think will approach be the same. Expecting some excitement from them for sure. And what have they just done today? They just won with Mike
Yeah,
Woods.
to be fair, they have done something in this race. We were wrong. But that's not to say they won't do anything else. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, cracking stage
I
from
mean,
Woods today.
yeah, we will react to our own our own
At the end.
predictions, obviously, or whatever we call it. But yeah, last week we reacted to the Yates hype as just hype, but I think they're doing quite well still. But nevertheless, today's stage, as we said, we're recording on the Sunday. Puy Dom, Simon Yates up there, which yeah is not too unexpected considering his pedigree as a rider, etc., etc. But Tom Pidcock was up there, and another comment was reacting about that as well, saying that he won't be going in breakaways because he is going for GC. So yeah, I mean we have a Yorkshireman, Patrick, and apparently having you, Patrick, is making us the best cycling podcast in the English sphere. So
Brilliant.
yeah, well, that was another comment. But yeah, Tom
Well,
Pidcock for will he win the tour? We might as well go there.
oh, well, even I cannot say that I think Tom Pidcock will win the tour. I reckon it would have to be a tour which is about a stage long and it's just like downhill and it's just like a TT that's downhill. Maybe he'd win at that point. To be honest, I'll hold my hands up. I was not expecting him to be doing a GC job, or if he was going to do one, not one that's going this well. It is, of course, only stage 9. But we've talked in the past about Pidcock as a GC threat. And I will be the first to hold my hands up and say that I didn't think that he really had it because he never really seemed to have the TT. We've never seen him on long climbs. And, we've seen him being good in this first week. Is he probably going to finish inside the top 10? I reckon he could do, to be honest. I reckon that we're kind of breaching uncharted territory with Pidcock's GC ability right now, whereby I don't know what to expect. I hope he freaking wins. That'll be fantastic for Yorkshire. Not UK, Yorkshire. By the way. That's just a county. But yeah, Pidcock in the future. I mean, like even today, Puy de Dom, he was. Thing is, at the end of the day, he got dropped by Pogacar and Vingegaard, which to win the Tour de France, you do kind of have to be competitive against those guys because they do tend to win this race quite a lot, as it turns out. Given that this is his first crack of like a GC, I think there might be more to come in in the coming years. We'll wait and see. They do seem pretty all in on the Pidcock project, especially after we were bashing them last week about what the hell are they doing. We talked about how they're quite in on Pidcock, so I think a top 10 this year. But can he podium a Grand Tour? Maybe in like 5 years. I don't know. Maybe a Vuelta. And
But
this is the optimistic view.
is this winning or podium the Welter?
Winning not happening. But okay. I'm in two minds about this because Ineos held him back from attacking a lot in that first week. I think he probably could have got the yellow jersey for a little bit. Maybe could have been up there with Hindley on that stage to Laurence. And then probably, if he had the legs, probably actually could have continued that yellow jersey streak for a little bit longer. He's looking okay. Puy de Dôme is a great Pidcock climb, though. That steep gradient towards the end definitely suits him more than certain other climbs. But at this point last year, he was also in top 10 and completely crumbled in the final week of racing. Yeah, that was his first Tour de France, but who's to say that's not going to happen this year once more? They've got Carlos Rodriguez in a really good position, and I hope Ineos don't invest too much in Pidcock and forget about Rodriguez being right up there with a good chance of making the top 5, maybe the podium. But for Pidcock, I mean, he's had a good couple of days in the GC fight, but I wouldn't be shocked if on Col de la Loze he loses 6-7 minutes.
I don't even think that's out of the question. I would love to be like, no, you're wrong.
Wow,
I
betrayal.
think.
We
No,
can't go
he's
back to
just.
Yorkshire now.
Wow, this is mate. They've got pitchforks outside right now. They're coming down. This is why I'm in Wiltshire. I'm scared. Scared to speak my true thoughts. I think that he is still kind of like developing, which sounds like a very kind of cliche thing to say, but I feel like he is still kind of developing as a rider. He's almost like in an identity crisis of what the hell even is he as a rider? Does he want to do GC, hilly stage races? He's kind of like what Alaphilippe was in like 2017 or so, kind of that kind of thing. And we saw Alaphilippe in 2019 do a very good crack at the Tour.
That's what I wanted Pidcock to do here.
Yeah,
I thought that this was the perfect Tour de France for Pidcock to do that Alaphilippe 2019 style ride, but we
yeah,
missed it.
but yeah, I feel like if he is going to do well on a tour, it will be a very Alaphilippe 2019-esque performance. I don't think that's a completely far-fetched thing to expect, considering that are a very similar rider profile and they've kind of succeeded in very similar races. But would I have said 5 years ago, is Alaphilippe going to win a Tour de France? I would probably say no. So therefore, it feels a bit like I'm lying if I was going to say, "Oh, but Pidcock's different." It's a different kettle of fish, I tell you. So I feel like I don't know. I can't say Alaphilippe one way and then Pidcock another. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the coming years based upon what we've seen in this first week. I kind of hope that he just drops out of GC and just goes for breakaways, to be honest with you. It's just my personal take. I'll be like, you've had your fun this week, Tom. Been 15 minutes. Get him a break. Make it fun again, you know? Nobody cares about sixth place in the GC group up Puy de Dom. Like, yeah, let C-Rod go do that.
Maybe this year is him sort of finding out the GC discovery, and the next year he goes for stages. We've seen that before with a couple riders as well, where sometimes they try to go for stages one year, then they go for the GC the next. But Pidcock finishing inside top 10 will be good. This Ineos experiment, bear in mind, they're losing an awful lot of their big GC riders in the off-season. Carlos Rodriguez moving over to Movistar, Pavel Sivakov moving across to UAE. We also have Geoghegan Hart going to Lidl Trek. Thomas isn't getting any younger. Bernal's getting older, which seems to be his downfall. Maybe this is just like Ineos's way of finding out what he could possibly do to fill the shoes of all these guys who are leaving.
I mean, I've done stage 17, C-Rod, as Patrick calls him, and Pidcock. They're basically similar time in GC. Let's say Rodriguez has a flat. Maybe he's 2 minutes ahead of Pidcock. Do you tell Pidcock?
He will be.
No, leave him. Leave him.
Do you tell Pidcock to go, or do you tell him give him your bike?
I'd say leave him. He's going to Movistar. Screw him.
Yeah, okay, fair point, actually.
Tell him to get that Prestaval off and blow into it himself. Get the Shimano neutral service on it. That'll help you.
Imagine. But I mean, nevertheless, we might as well move on.